How's it going, everybody? My name is Ben from the Ben and Bev channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier's first episode, which is titled New World Order. So this first episode does have a little bit of action, but I think it is more being used as kind of exposition to see what both of our lead characters have really been doing since the events of Avengers Endgame, whether that be what Sam has decided to do with the shield or what he's doing down with his family to make up for the lost time of being blipped in Louisiana, as well as with Bucky and how he is trying to reconcile and have these therapy sessions and just try and make amends with everything that he's done in his life. And even though he's been pardoned, try and truly feel like he is doing something good rather than just making up for his past mistakes. So he gives away the shield. Sam Wilson, after much thought and deliberation, and after going on an absolutely insane and super cool action-packed sequence fight scene, decides that he is going to be giving up the Captain America shield and putting it in a museum, which definitely comes back and bites him in the butt later, which we'll get to in a second. But Don Cheadle is there for it, and he even asks him the question that we're all wondering as we're watching is, why didn't you take up the mantle? And he just felt that it wasn't his to take. It belonged to Steve, and it's something he truly just didn't want to take over. And, well, I get that. That was just shocking to me. They just handed it over. It's like, Captain America gave you the shield, and you just go hand it over to the U.S. government. That's just never a good idea in any comic book movie anywhere.
It's sacred. You don't do that.
So at this point we switch over to Bucky's side of things, which start out as a memory of a hit he had when he was still the Winter Soldier. And it's a really cool fight scene, but it ends with him, it doesn't show it, but it looks like he appears to execute an innocent civilian that just sees him, and it ended up being a dream that haunts him and wakes him up. He's sleeping on the floor, and it quickly cuts into the sequences where he's talking to the therapist, which are sometimes comical and sometimes quite grim. The jokes about Bucky's age throughout the episode are hilarious, and you notice it's kind of this cool relationship he has with his neighbor Yori, or I'm not sure if it's a neighbor or just a friend, but it's an older woman, and he goes with him to a sushi bar, and he ends up setting him up on a date. And at this point Nori sees some mochi, and even though everything was kind of funny in the scene, as soon as he sees the mochi, the emotion completely drains, and Bucky's attitude just starts to get agitated. And I instantly started thinking, please tell me Bucky didn't kill this guy's son. And of course, within 10 minutes, when Bucky's on the date with the girl later, and she's talking about how Yori's son disappeared, Bucky he starts freaking out. Like, he starts doing he keeps looking around like someone's behind him at one point, and he makes sure that the little waving cat clock, he makes sure that it's not moving. And as soon as she mentions his son, it's just downhill from there. He just has to leave, and he goes over and tries to tell Yori, but he can't do it. And honestly, that amend is going to be a hard one to make. Like, you want to tell this man that you've been hanging out with that you're the one who killed his son just because you know it's going to give him closure. And I mean, the dude's like 90 years old. I don't know if he really needs to know. I mean, that's going to be rough to see if they actually show it. From there, we switch back over to Sam Wilson, and this is when we find out that he is indeed a Louisiana boy, and we kind of see his family, how they've been struggling through the blip, and possibly also while he was gone being a superhero before that, and the disconnect that him and his sister has as he tries to come back and make up for the lost time, as well as try and help her out any way he can, even though it appears he can't get a loan. Even though he's Falcon, he has no financial records, and him being a hero actually doesn't really mean anything in this post-blip world, it seems. So I will say that last half of the episode is definitely the juicy part, where we get to see that scene where Agent Torres, that was friends with Falcon, I think it was in Switzerland, and he's doing a meetup for one of those post-blip groups that believes everything was better before the blip, and we get to see a super-powered bank robbery, and Falcon kind of react to that. And as he's just discovering out about this super-powered group of terrorist vigilantes in a foreign country, his sister comes to the room and tells him, hey, you need to look at the news. And sure enough, there it is. The guy that took the shield to put in the museum has put it on someone else, and we now know who Wyatt Russell's character it is, and it indeed appears to be U.S. agent, complete with the wink at the camera. Alright, so that is a pretty good start. A good 50-minute beginning with a good amount of exposition to kind of get us set up and show everyone and where they're at, as well as a kick-ass action sequence to start it all off, and a slightly shocking, even though most of us kind of already figured, ending to the episode. So, yeah, I think it was a good start. I'm definitely excited for next week. I'm excited about the longer run time, and yeah, see you guys next time. What did you guys think about Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, Ben and Bev out.